once you enter through the front gate of the property, you are immediately transported into a different world, immersed into the beauty, the calm, the tranquility of Caramilli, if you like, a Maniot Tusculum, if you will. And if you allow them, the thick limestone walls that surround the property will really shield you from the constantly hyper-connected world that we live in today. And I think this is a very important and such a pleasant aspect of being here in Caramilli, in this fantastic house. It really is a sanctuary to really deeply concentrate, to formulate and to elaborate on complex thought. At least for me, that means or meant really solidifying the essential foundation layers, if you will, of a book that I'm currently writing on how in antiquity ancient places materially or archaeologically expressed their associated or perceived association with great mythical events of Panhellenic heroes. The Leigh Fermor House has really gifted me time, if I'm allowed that pun, to bring structured form into a larger piece of written work, which at least in part deals with very complex aspects of ancient Greek culture. But for me, I guess the greatest privilege of all is that you really immediately feel embraced into the warm, still omnipresent spirit of both Patrick and Joan Leigh Fermor, who obviously deeply loved literature, art, different cultures, epitomized, by the way, not only through his writings, but also through her photographs, and finally monumentalized here, at this house, on these grounds. For that, I really cannot express my appreciation, my deepest thanks to the Benaki Museum for extending this great honor and huge privilege. So thank you very much. It's been a fantastic, very rewarding time.
My research at the Patrick and Joan Leigh Fermor House concerns the generation of the 1930s and their reciprocal relationship with a small village in the hills of Laconia. This research follows, in a way, the footsteps of Patrick Leigh Fermor in interviewing people, having lengthy conversations, but also understanding the topography and the traditions of small settlements in Greece. So in doing this project, I've been enormously helped by the magical environment of the house, the books that Fermor collected, from the works of Angeliki Hadjimichaili on popular decorative motifs to the beautiful poetry of Sylvia Plath. All of these works surround the fellows and contribute to an ambiance of learning and erudition. And combined with this is the beautiful landscape of the house, the waves that lap against the seashore, the olive branches that are slowly moving in the wind, and the absolutely transcendental smell of wild freesias that are growing in the garden. These two aspects of the intellectual surrounding created by Patrick and Joan Leigh Fermor and the natural environment of the house have created the most productive environment for all of the scholars who've lived here. And we're so grateful to the Benaki Museum for this opportunity.
I'm very grateful for this opportunity. The Leigh Fermor House is a paradise for scholars. I could fully concentrate on my own work, while at the same time I could enjoy long walks in a lovely nature and swimming in a great beach. Needless to say that this is the first time in my life that I could produce work of such high quality and quantity within the framework of just 6 weeks.
I'm fallen in a twofold paradise, a paradise of creativity and a paradise of beauty. First, to this of creativity, I have finished here during the first weeks 3 papers. They are all cycling around artificial intelligence. And what I want to show is that artificial intelligence is a non-human, so to say, dissimilar to people way of using language and even of reasoning. And I found very good arguments to tell others that artificial intelligence is an alternative, an alien mode of using language and reasoning. And now to Leigh Fermor House. In my impression, this estate is something like a miniature picture, an image, a very small image of what is the most beautiful dimension of the surrounding. And I'm fascinated by the correspondence, or should I say correlation, between the beauty of the house and the beauty of the surrounding country. What has done Patrick and Joan, and what has been done by culture and nature around.